My friend Austin from High Caliber Craftsman makes some awesome stuff, and he recently sent me one of his beautiful leather maul kits, which give you the freedom to design and make your own handle. I wanted to try making a stacked leather handle, but these usually require a lathe, and I don't have access to one. However, the lack of proper tools has never stopped me in the past, so I thought I would try making one anyway, using the tools that I do have at my disposal, and while I was at it, I wanted to try making some DIY micarta to add a pop of color to the handle. So I took a bunch of measurements and then hopped into Fusion 360 to start the design. I started by making a simple 3D model of the assembled maul but without the handle. From there, I created a sketch through the center of the maul and then used splines to sketch out a handle profile, making small adjustments along the way until I was happy with the shape. Now, this is where the timeline-based parametric modeling of Fusion 360 really shines. Once I closed off the handle profile, I could revolve it around the center axis to create a 3D shape. It's kind of hard to get a sense of what a 3D handle would look like just from a 2D sketch, so if I wasn't happy with the 3D handle, I could go back in the timeline, edit the splines, and then the changes would propagate forward through the timeline and adjust the final 3D handle. Pretty cool, right? Once I got the handle looking just right, I used my model of the threaded rod to cut a hole through its center. Now, I needed to slice the solid handle into layers. Until recently, there was a plugin for Fusion 360 which could do exactly this, but apparently it no longer exists. So I had to do this process manually with offset planes and the split body tool. I used my dial calipers to find the average thickness of my leather, and then set this as the distance between the offset planes. As you can probably tell, this was a very tedious process, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was a more efficient way to do this in Fusion, so let me know in the comments if you know of a better method. After splitting the handle into 42 layers, I moved them all onto the XY plane to get them ready for laser cutting. I arranged the layers in a long line and then used the Export to Origin plugin from Shaper Tools to create an SVG file from the top surface of all of the layers. This free plugin is super useful if you want to laser cut something that you design in Fusion, and I'll leave a link for it in the description. I'm here at the Steam project in Richmond Hill, Ontario, where I'm going to use our laser cutter to cut the leather pieces as well as some denim to make the stacked handle for the maul. Let's get started. This is 8 to 9 ounce veg tan leather, and I'm cutting it with a 50-watt Epilogue Mini laser cutter. I was a little too conservative with my power settings, and in some areas of the leather, the laser didn't quite cut through all the way, and it took a bit of elbow grease to pop each piece out of these areas. Take it from me, it is definitely worth it to really dial in the power settings before you start a long cut like this one. And when in doubt, just pump up the power and turn down the speed. As I mentioned before, I wanted to try making some denim micarta to mix in with the leather and add a pop of color to the handle. Micarta is actually a brand's name, but it's basically a composite material made up of layers of epoxy and fabric, kind of like a fiberglass boat. I used the laser to cut out some circles from an old pair of jeans and then headed back to my apartment to continue the build. While I was at the makerspace, I also cut out some plywood discs with a hole saw. These are going to be used to apply pressure to the top of each micarta mold, so I covered them in packing tape just to help get them out of the cured epoxy later on. I used Alumilite Amazing Clear Cast epoxy resin to make the micarta. After mixing the resin and hardener for about 5 minutes, I started alternating layers of epoxy and denim in the plastic containers. I really tried to saturate each denim disc with epoxy, and a silicone brush came in really handy for this. I kept adding layers until each disc was about the thickness of the leather. Then, I used C-clamps to squeeze the layers together, applying as much pressure as I could and getting a fair bit of squeeze out in the process. I left my clamped up DIY micarta to cure for 48 hours. My Duresta-inspired ice pick, which was also made by Austin, was super useful in getting the micarta discs out of the plastic containers. Even with the packing tape, the plywood was stuck pretty well to the micarta through the epoxy squeeze out on the sides. But these were easy enough to separate with my Japanese pull saw, and pulling the last bit of plywood and packing tape off of the micarta was super satisfying. I drilled a 1/2-inch hole through the micarta discs, and I was ready to assemble the handle. I built up the handle right on the threaded rod using wood glue to hold the layers together. I removed 3 of the leather discs and replaced these with the denim micarta. I did do a dry fit with all of the pieces before adding glue, and I'm happy I did because the handle was a little too long. This was an easy fix, and I just removed a couple of the leather discs so that when I tightened the acorn nuts on either end, the handle was clamped together perfectly. I gave the wood glue a few hours to dry and then moved out to the garage to start the messy process of smoothing out the handle. The first step was trimming down some of the excess micarta with my rotary tool. It only took a few minutes of manually rotating the handle before I chucked it up in my cordless drill so I could use it as a makeshift lathe. Combining this with the rotary tool allowed me to trim away the excess micarta in no time. Once I got the micarta flush with the leather, I moved on to smoothing the transition between the layers. After smoothing the handle with sandpaper, I brushed on gum tragacanth and burnished it with my wooden burnishing tool. I put them all back together and then oiled the leather with a healthy coat of neatsfoot oil. It seemed like the oil had a bit of trouble penetrating the burnished leather, and I probably should have done the oiling before burnishing. But after 48 hours, the color had finally evened out and the stacked leather and denim micarta maul was done. This maul feels super solid, especially compared to my old rawhide mallet. It has such a nice weight and balance, and the brass hardware looks amazing. These leather maul kits are available on Austin's website, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. This was my first experience making a stacked handle, and doing it with Fusion 360, a laser cutter, DIY denim micarta, and a janky drill lathe setup was a great learning experience that left me with a very unique end product. I won't say this is the world's best looking stacked handle, and I definitely won't say this is the most efficient way to make one. But I think if you get one takeaway from this video, it's that with a little elbow grease and a little creativity, you can really make anything with the tools that you have access to. As always, thank you for watching and have a great day.